Hi there, it's Marilyn here with Stamping Creations with Marilyn, and I'm going to show you some samples and some cards that I've been making with the Field of Flowers stamp set. It is a very versatile stamp set, as you can see from all the words that are on it, and I have done this class, and now I'm going to do a video on each of the cards that I made in that class so that you, the registrant, can go back to them often. So for the first one, I have, actually it's number 6 on my scheduled of recipes, but it's the first one I'm going to do tonight. It is this one with a sunset background and then black stamping on it. So in order to do that, just move a couple things out of the way, and I'm going to use a paper towel behind my smaller piece of white. I have cut, not enough room around here. I'm using basic black for the background, and that is my normal card size, 8.5 by 5.5. And all of these dimensions will be in the description of this video, so you can always refer back to them. So that's my basic. Then I have 2 layers of white that are our normal 1/4 inch smaller. So on one of those, I am going to stamp what I have on the inside here, Thinking of You, My Friend, and that is on 2 different stamps. Nope, not that one, this one. So I like to stamp on the piercing mat, because especially with photopolymer stamps, gives it a bit more stability. I'm always happy when it looks straight, so that one looks straight, and I think that will do. So I will need my black again later, as you might recall from, oops, can't see that very good in there, can you? Seeing that card. So that's going to be my inside layer, which I will not attach until we've got everything ready. I like to do my stamping and then attaching. So that is my outside layer for the background here. And then this is going to be my layer that I'm going to do the sponging on. So I'm using sponge brayers, which come 2 to a box, with 2 extra rollers, as you see there, and looks like it's got a bit of black left on that yet. Just try and, you know what, instead of getting it too dark, I think that's how easy it is to replace them. And I have a new one right here. Oh, okay. Guess you don't take that out. Just, okay. So on my colors, I started with the lightest one, and I went about 1/3 of the way up from the bottom. And you don't want to go back and forth like this. You want to go, something reminds me of getting paint on a paint roller for painting your walls. And then I like to start off the cardstock and back and finish off it. So it takes a little bit of time, but you can go back and forth as many as you want to get the shade of color that you want. I think that's quite bright yellow. So Daffodil Delight. I'm not too worried about this bottom because that is going to be covered with the black afterwards. So just to easily run that till it runs clean. Well, it's not really running, but you know what I mean. Then I went with Mango Melody on the top part. Just a different shade of yellow that we have now. And yes, I see there's some lines there, but that's what the terracotta tile is going to help eliminate. So again, I think that's enough of that shade. Then I have terracotta tile. Whoa, back here. And that one, I'm going to use on the center part, but also work my way to the top. So it looks like a sunset, more of a red sunset, that one. And if you press harder, it's going to be darker. If you don't press as hard, it will be lighter. Whoops. Then comes the black for the bottom. And I'm going to go back to my black roller just because it's right here and because it had some black on it. So, whoa, back here. So a different stamp pad, therefore ink's a little bit different. So that one, we want it to look like the ground. And again, these sponge rollers, when you're done with them, you can take them and wash them. And the color, the stain will be there, but the color will come out of them, so you can use them again. So that is good for now. I am going to stamp the grass, only it's going to be in black. Oh. And it's stamped 2 or 3 times to do with my scissors. And again, because I'm stamping now, I am going to use that piercing mat. So it's going to give me the impression of nighttime grasses. And just, it is wider than the whole piece of cardstock, so you can move it and it'll give you a more filled in look. Maybe one, whoops, I'm very smart, a little bit more the ink there, and that one over that way. So there are my layers for that. Then I have the leaves, and because it's quite a filled in stamp, you want to try and get it, the color to be there totally. If you were doing it on the Stamparatus, of course you could stamp it more than once, but I'm not doing that this time. Then I have the flowers that will go, and the same thing with them. If you can see what I'm looking at, you can see it's pretty well covered. And they do line up on the stems like that. And then we have our little dragonfly. Oops. Flittering around, and the word always. And as I showed you in the first part of this, the word always goes with each one of these sets of words. So, and I just realized that I hope it's going to fit because I didn't just. Looks like it was made for that, doesn't it? Okay, so now that my stamping is done, I can go ahead and put the card together. If I had some adhesive over here. So I like to work with mine going from one layer to the other, not on the card base. So this one, now that it's colored, it was white to begin with, but it will go with just the tiniest of borders. And try to put it straight. I think it's going to come off. Get it moved over maybe a little bit. Okay, I like to burnish from the back side, and then I will be able to put this on the card front. See how the black, not even in there where you can see it, the black makes it just pop. Again, I will burnish from the back side so my hands aren't on the ink. And try to put the inside layer the right way up. So I always double check. That's the top, that's the top. And there is our first card.